Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Welcome to the best of the 757 Community Talk Show. And of course, I am the one, your host, the one and only, the one that brings you information and dialogue for our future generation. Welcome to the show. Go ahead and hit that share button and let some of the people in the house, let them on in, let them come on in the house and let them know that we are still here. We're still in the land of the living. And as long as we in the land of the living, we'll be all right. Because God don't make no mistakes. How y'all doing this afternoon? On this beautiful Saturday. I just want to take time and make sure everything is working properly and that we can enjoy a good conversation and dialogue today. If you like to chime in, you always can do that. Welcome to the show. For I am Captain85. And well, the election is over and come and gone. And all we have to do now is keep on with the keep on, because the battle is not ours, it's the Lord's. But he needs good soldiers to be on the battlefield and continue to pick up the banner and keep moving forward. And as my motto is for our future generation in 2025, guns down, pin up. That means that you got to get the knowledge, the wisdom that you need to proceed in life on what you want to accomplish. And you can't do it with a gun in your hand. And with all the negative energy out there out there being put in the universe that we're going through, is that we have to be able to understand that life is for the living. And if you got a gun in your hand, you ain't living. But you also have to be prepared for the unexpected. And if you're going to carry a gun, we have to educate our young people and adults that you have the right, that's in the Constitution, to have a right to bear arms, but you don't have a right to kill anybody. That's the law. You get a gun, go and take the gun test. And in the near future, I'm going to be bringing on a person that knows more about gun safety and knowing that you can use a gun and a weapon to protect yourself. But what we want to do is make sure that our life and liberty means that it's for justice for all. We under the banner, but you see, if they're continuing to try to change the Constitution, we can only continue to move forward and pray. But most of all, prayer means that there has to be an action. That's one action. And you pray for guidance, pray for knowledge, and pray for wisdom. And once you get knowledge, that means opening up a book, researching, and finding the information that's going to guide you on your journey. We don't know everything, but we can learn a lot because it's out there on the World Wide Web. We don't have to take things for granted and thinking that, hey, God has forgot us. He hasn't forgot us. Sometimes I think people don't understand God is always there. He's waiting on you to call on him. And when you call on him, you will find out that everything is going to be all right. And when everything be all right, then you will know that God is listening, and he's listening to you, and he wants you to know that you're still his child. We don't get too old to be God's child, but the enemy is real. And when you don't pick up that pen and write down and make notes, then you're missing the whole point of education. It's out there. There's millions of platforms out there that give you positive energy, positive knowledge to do and to achieve goals in your lifetime. Whatever you want to do, whatever you're trying to do, it's already in you. You have to learn how to trust in Jesus, in the name of Jesus, because that's the only way you're going to accomplish your goals. That's why it says, in the name of Jesus. Even the enemy came to Jesus and said, if you bow down to me, I'll give you all that you see. The enemy comes bringing gifts. And when he brings gifts, he know that you're in need or we're in need, and we have to bow down if we want to keep that pay money coming. Things that we don't want to do or wish to do, we do it. But what we have to do is understand is God is still in charge. And once you understand that, once the time is set, that you must know and understand that the enemy knows your footsteps, but it's up to you to make the right choice. That's why this banner is up. Guns down, pin up, because knowledge is the only way we're going to get our way out of this situation. But if we destroy our future generation, if they're being destroyed, then who's going to fight the battle? Who's going to continue to fight, go on the battlefield and fight the battle? We have to be well educated to be able to move forward. And we as adults must talk to our young people about the gun violence and stop turning a blind eye. You know, we are losing lives because when we figure out what's going on, our future is at stake. It doesn't matter who's in the White House or the outhouse. It's what you're doing with your time and what you're doing to help young people to understand we need them. You got to put those guns down. Got to put those guns down. Losing and getting angry doesn't solve any problem in our community. Guns is not solving any problem. They make money off us one way or the other. Guns are sold on the black market, on the streets, in the 757, and this just not started under the Republicans or the Democrats or independents. This has been going on for years, because I've been working in the community for years. And any young person would tell you, if you want to buy a gun, they tell you they know more about where to get guns is than the adults do, because they want it in the hands of the young people. Because young people are our future. Where's our treasures? Our treasures are in our kids. Our treasure is in our kids. Our treasure, it lies here, right in front of you. Right in front of you. This is the treasures that we possess. But we let the enemy trick us and fool us. We are responsible for this, for teaching them the right way to go. We're responsible for their education about right or wrong. That's why after 12 years old, after 12, you are not responsible. No parent is responsible for the well-being of knowledge after 12. Whatever a child makes a mistake after 12, they own their own. Read your Bible. Where was Jesus at? Where was Jesus at the time when his mother and father was looking for him? It said they didn't know where he was. And when they asked him, said, we was worried about you. Where were you? He said, I was about my father's work. Are we turning a blind eye on our young people? Are we turning a blind eye? This is all I've been, before there was internet. I've been doing this all my life. People would tell me, oh, you're going to be a preacher someday. I don't think so. Talking is preaching. Communication is preaching. You don't have to be in a pulpit. We got enough of them in the pulpit. But all the people we got in the pulpit, I don't know why we got gun violence in our community, in our neighborhood. We got preachers in the pulpit, but you ain't seeing none of them walk those streets. You don't see them in the streets. You see a few. With all the churches that we got, you only see one, maybe 1 to 10 preachers in the street. 1 to 10. This is 757. You got enough preachers in here to start an army. But they want to do their preaching from the pulpit. And they get mad because you say it. God didn't tell them that. That's in the Bible. That's in scripture. We're losing our young people because those that's supposed to be of the cloth is not talking to these kids and not going in the street. I've been preaching this all my life. I've been marching in this area ever since I was 19 and 20. Marched this when they killed the guy in Portsmouth, Bellamy, on High Street. We marched. When I was in Woodrow Wilson High School, when they didn't have a black cheerleader. They didn't have a black cheerleader. We marched out of school and marched from Woodrow Wilson. We walked from there all the way down to City Hall. But by the time we got to City Hall, they already know we were coming. So they locked the doors, hit the police out there and said, "You're not coming in." But that didn't stop. So when you're talking about who is he talking and what he do, all I hear is he run his mouth. So I already made history. I was one of the few that stepped out of at Woodrow Wilson High School. And that's how you have a black cheerleader as today. Because young people back then in the 70s were marching. And people don't like to hear the facts. They don't want to hear the truth. But the Bible said the truth is the light, and let your light shine. But we get to the point where we see our young people dying every day. All you gotta do is look at the news. I don't care when you turn on the news. People in our community is dying. People in our community is dying. I can't tell you what to do and what not to do. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do by documenting and talking about it. That someone can say, someone took a stand. You can't take a stand and keep getting the same results day in and day out, week in, week out, year in and year out. People are dying. And they're young people. As we get older, we're going to die anyway. That's what life is all about. Living to get a certain age, try to accomplish some positive things, and leave this world in a better place than what we came into. But if you don't help the young people, how is they going to do that? If you're afraid to talk to young people, somebody know what's going on. But you're supposed to go to them and talk to them in private. You're supposed to go to them and say, if you need help, here's my number. They indoctrinated everybody in the black community with the word snitch. You a snitch. If I have to tell on you to save your life, you can say whatever you want. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do what I have to do to make sure you live. But what I'm really going to do is make sure that you understand somebody loves you. Make sure you understand that somebody cares. And if we don't do that, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Black power. Yeah, that word rings a lot. Black power. Why? Thank you for the person that put up. They didn't leave a name, just said Facebook user. But I want to thank you for the comment, because comments are important. I didn't create this talk show for me to just do the talking. I created it so we can have dialogue. If it's just a phrase, meaning that you understand that our power is within us, is when we come together. Why do you think Martin Luther King was able to accomplish? It's in the history books, and I got a set of his books. I got Black history books that was done in the 70s and 60s, published. And they asked Martin Luther King a word, said, how and why do you use young people in your marches? And his response was, well, with young people, if you tell them not to do something, they will react and do it anyway, in a good way. They're marching. They weren't afraid of the police. They march. Look at the history tape. Look at the videos. Who was marching? Women, young people, and men. But leaders are hard to come by. Why? Because they tell you don't trust them. They tell you which leaders they want you to lead, to trust. But they don't want you trusting somebody that's going to get the job done. They don't want you to lead with somebody that knows that somewhere along the way, somebody has to say, we got to, because no materialistic things here on this planet you're going to take with you when you die. Nothing. Zip. What we need to do is understand we have to communicate. And communications is what's causing the biggest problem in our community. Until we reach a goal to save the young people so they can grow up and be the leaders, are we going to sit around and say, well, we lost? Or did you lose? Or did we lose? God sometimes postpones things to show you what the enemy is capable of. We can look right in front of our face and see things going on and turn a blind eye. Everything that I've been working on all my life, and they're telling you almost 30-some years later about what the problem was. I've been telling you about the problem, people about the problem, the government about this problem, schools about this problem for over 30 years. And you know what they do? They listen to me. Next thing you know, everything that I said is now you'll see the government talking about it. You'll see the government doing it. You see the city doing it. But what they don't want to do is let you do it, because then you have power where it's supposed to be at, in the community. Young people are leaders. They are born leaders. It's not about me. This talk show, my radio platform, my art is about showing them you have the same gifts. You have the same gifts in you. That's all I'm doing. That's why I created this character. It's not about me. It's to show them you are Captain 85. This is your symbol. At one time, their symbol was Superman. I don't read comic books. I create books. I create knowledge to give you wisdom. So when people sit around and thinking, well, oh, one person in the city that worked at the city for the city, taxpayers' money, said that only thing I'm trying to do is sell some books. Well, how do you get your check to answer your phone and sit there in that office and tell me what I'm trying to do? Because I'm doing more than you doing. Only thing you doing is what the master told you to do. To tell me I'm just trying to sell some books. The other person tells me the city does what it wants to do. I can't make the city do anything. Then why are you on city council? Why? You cannot sit and tell me you've been elected to city council, and the city council, you can't get anything done. And like I keep telling people, it's not about me. I'm just coming to let you know what the end result's going to be. Not my will, is God's will. I'm just the messenger. People might say, you're always saying the same thing. I'm hoping that somebody, a young person, will understand that somebody was doing one thing for them. You said that I'm trying to sell a book. I sell many things, but I won't sell my soul. That's what I won't do. Oh, I can get money, but I don't sell my soul to the devil. That's what's in your book. What part you don't understand? What part you don't understand when Jesus was in the wilderness for 40 days and for 40 nights? What did Satan come to him and say? If you bow down to me, I give you all that your eyes can see. All that your eyes can see can be yours if you bow down to me. I'm a messenger. I'm trying to instill in the future generation, all you got to do is pick up a pen. All you got to do is pick up a pen, put the gun down. You saying, well, the process is slow because I ain't got no dough. The process is slow. I don't have no dough. You're saying the process is slow because I don't have no dough. But you see, even when people get dough, they still doing the wrong thing. That's why most of our entertainers lose their lives. Because see, when they get to a certain position in life and try to be smart, see, you have to understand is the enemy don't want you to be smart. He wants you to dumb you down. He wants to dumb you down. As they say, knowledge is not free, but it is. The Bible is free. Companies printed. They printed something that's free. You're just paying for them to print it. Just like with my books. The knowledge is free. You're just paying me to design them. You're paying me to create them. And I got to send it to a publisher because he ain't publishing it free. Well, man, look, let me tell you something, bro. That's a good idea you're doing, bro. I like the idea. I can help you. I can work with you. But I can't do it free. I tell you what, when you need some gas, when you buy that expensive car, and the hand is on getting on E, and you pull up to the service station, I don't care if you got a Mercedes or a jalopy. Go into that gas station, say, hey, bro, look, can you let me get $10 or $20 worth of gas? And I'll pay you when I come back because I ain't got no money on me. I didn't know my tank was low. I left my wallet home. See how fast you leave that service station. And you can go there every day and buy gas. They can know you. But they ain't turning that tap on unless you got a credit card or some cash because you're going to make a dash. Ain't nothing on this planet that I didn't know about when I was a child. computers. I got pictures in the newspaper when I was in middle school. When I was 13 years old, 13 or 14 years old, they had a display, what they call the future. And they had the technology of the future. You think this stuff just started? The enemy got us about 50 or 100 years or more. Technology is nothing new. You got the power to create anything you want if you use your mind, put your mind to it. That's all they did. They have the ability to put their mind to it. Why? Because they control everything. They own the banks. When you don't control nothing, you have to be able to put yourself in a position to get the knowledge, the wisdom to use it. A gun ain't bringing you no knowledge. It's a pipeline to prison. It's a pipeline to the cemetery. That's why I say guns down, hand, pen up. Because with that pen, you create a lot of stuff. With that pen, you create a lot of stuff. Even though you may not see, hey, it ain't working. I don't understand. I did all this. I go through it. I've been going through it for years. And people will come to me and, hey, man, I like what you're doing. And you know what they'll do? They'll take your work and try to use it. But God said, don't fear. I got something better coming. And that's what God does. The enemy will try to seek you out and destroy you. You think I didn't go through the same thing your kids are going through when I was a child? I was bullied in school, but I didn't give up. I didn't go get a gun. I didn't take a knife or a weapon to school. I learned how to keep my mouth closed. The Bible tells you that. So why are you in a courtyard and two people are arguing? Two people are arguing in the courtyard and a crowd gathers. How do the crowd tell which one is the fool? I'll let you ponder that for a moment before I answer it. Two people are arguing, just like you see them in your neighborhood right today. There is nothing new under the sun. There is nothing new under the sun. This has been going on for decades, centuries. People are arguing to gather a crowd. When the crowd gathers, how do they tell which one is the fool? I'm going to give you 10 more seconds to ponder that. How do you tell which one is the fool? Time's up. When one stopped talking and the other one still arguing. It takes two people to argue. Just like it takes two people to come together. The Bible said, where there are two or more in my name, that's where I shall be also. God is all around us. Why do you say God is around us? I don't never seen him. You do when you look in the mirror. Michael Jackson told you that. What part you don't understand? It's the man in the mirror. Prince told you that. When he said Purple Rain. When he changed his name. Because he said, I'm not a slave. Whitney Houston told you that. How will I know? How will I know? The great writers, Quincy Jones, wrote hundreds, thousands of songs to let you know who you are. Frank Sinatra hired Quincy Jones to write for him. Was Frank Sinatra racist? No. But when you look and see that all the things that we're going through, we take for granted. When God sends you somebody to give you a message, you turn away. Our culture has been invaded. That's how you know who you are. When your culture has been invaded and been weaponized, then you should know who you are. Look how many soldiers have lost their lives. Look how many soldiers are incarcerated. So you don't know what's going on? We have did many things in life. But when you're trying to do something that's right, the enemy still is attacking you. But God said, hold on to unchanging hands. Until we learn what them words mean, then we're going to keep doing the same thing. Losing a generation to gun violence, which it took them to last year, to find out gun violence was mental health. And you're going to tell me you don't know that? The surgeon generals and all these people that are in high authority didn't know gun violence was a mental health issue? Well, let me see. Don't you go to war and send American young men to war and women to war? And they come back with mental health issues? Why? Because of the sound of gunfire, bombs exploding around them, seeing people shot and killed. Oh, I know they're soldiers. They're supposed to be normalized. They're supposed to be normalized. So all those things. Don't nobody want to get killed because you ain't sending your sons. And the ones that go and lose their lives, or the ones that come back, sometimes they understand, why are we fighting? At the end of the day, we got to fight to get a paycheck. Then when we get old, we got to fight to get the money we done paid into Social Security. And we still fighting. Our wars are not just wars with other countries. Our wars are within the country that we stay. Until we recognize the enemy, our future generation is at stake. We got well-educated young people out there in the world, and things are being cut so they can't afford to go to college. They can't afford the high tuition to go to these colleges. And parents, you must learn to do one thing. Teach your children economics, to save money at an early age. The Bible said, train them while they're young. So whatever they do, they won't go wrong. Because if they do, it's shame on the parent. Our young men can grow up to be adults. That's why they changed the age of the man from 21 to 18. What part you don't understand? Young men weren't grown until they was 21 years of age. But a woman was grown at 18. And that only happened a few years ago. And they tell you today, a man is not even mature enough until he gets 27. That's why the government said they could stay on your insurance coverage until that age, or till they find a suitable job that get them benefits. And even then, they still could be partially taken care of on your insurance. So what part of those things you don't understand? We're in a stage that if we don't come together and take care of our young people, our community is going to be in a dilemma. And the only thing we can do is learn how to show love to our young people. Show them love so they understand that we care about them. We need them. We are dependent on them to go to school, obey the teacher, respect the teacher, and let the teacher know that, hey, we care about you. Let the teacher know, hey, you're not going to go to school and disrespect the teacher. Because if you go to school and disrespect the teacher, then we coming back. We're coming back to let you know there's a party going on over here when you get home. Because that's what my mama did. My mama didn't play. My mama said, hey, if you do something wrong, this is what's going to happen. If you go to school and you get sent home for fighting, you're going to have to fight me when you get home. You're going to have to fight me when you get home. So what part you don't understand? When our people have to teach, not preach, but teach young people that their lives belongs to the Creator. And with that, we can change things. But we can't change things if we don't continue to work. Continue the challenge of bringing things to light. All the things that we go through, all the things that we need to do and accomplish, we can't get done unless we come together and make sure that our young people understand that the battle is not yours, it's God's. And love can conquer hate. We don't have to hate nobody. Well, we do have a concern to let people know, to let our future generation know that we love them and we need them. And again, my comic book will be released soon. And most of the times I come on the Best of the 757 Community Talk Show, I will be talking about this book. You will be able to order it real soon. In a couple of days, a couple of weeks. But I might wait till 1st of December. But if you're an organization and want to help a community organization to purchase some of these books, you can do that. So that some of these books can be given away. And if you want to know more information on how you can donate, purchase books, whatever, you can call me at 757-630-9745. The website is done. I just haven't launched it yet because there's other things that I'm doing, because I'm looking for sponsors, and for the sponsors, I will be promoting your brand and your business when you purchase a certain amount of books. Because I can't print books and give them away, because my budget is not in my budget, because it's a lot of moving parts to what I do. A lot of moving parts. And I'm just trying to make sure that the people that help support the brand get recognition. This is what I've always been doing. Whatever club I was in when I ran it, I put the people that came to the club that had businesses. I put their brand in my commercial. It takes more than one person to do something in the community. But if the Bible say, together we stand, but divided we fall. We fall because you got to have, nobody don't want to be a chief. Everybody wants to be a chief. Nobody wants to be an Indian. Nobody wants to be an Indian. I work mostly by myself. Why? Because I can't tell myself to stop. Because if I stop, everything stops. The enemy is real. That's why when you see me, when you see the pictures and see me now, I put different pictures up. Why? Because I had COVID, and it's been a long process of recuperating. And I'm still have medical conditions that I go through. But I ain't going to give up. I'm not going to stop. Because the young people are more important to me than anything I know. And you say, why is that? Because they don't know no better. Unless you train them and teach them and educate them. They'll grow up to be leaders. And if they listen, they will remember. They will remember. Some people forget the positions and the things I have to go through. Why? Because everything I went through, the establishment got upset. You don't know what I go through. You just see the results because I don't give up. Because I know how the enemy is. He wants you to give up. Because if he gives up, look if 5 people, if each one of these kids up here paid attention to what Captain85 stands for, they will grow up and saying, I remember. Why do you look at TV every night? Why do you look at game shows? Why do you look at talk shows? Why is everybody on the internet everybody got a conversation? Everybody wants, hey, follow me over here and follow me over there. I'm going to do what I do if I got followers or not. I'm going to do what I do if nobody support Captain85. Where you don't, God going to send somebody that will. That's what the promise is. You do God's will. If it was easy, where in the Bible that something was easy? Noah had to build an ark. He had to use his family. That's why when he built it, and God said, go tell the people to get into the ark. Gonna be a flood. You crazy. They're gonna build this big boat. What is this? An ark? What is that gonna do? They didn't believe him. So he went back. God said, okay, get 2 of each animal. 2 of each animal and fill it with animals. And you saying that's a make-believe story. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, no, it's not, buddy. See, that's why you don't read your history. They know where the ark is. Russia know where the ark is, just like Russia know who you is. Y'all play, but you don't read. It's a lot of knowledge out there. But we get a little bit here, a little bit there. But then God send you the things and send knowledge to you. All you got to do is pray, have faith. You pray to Jesus. When somebody tell you, God told me to tell you this morning, then you can get mad with me. All you got to do is in the Bible. It's in the Bible. Well, God told you. What God is that? God don't talk to us. That's why he sent Jesus. That's why he sent his only begotten son, so that you and I could have a chance for everlasting life. But they changed the image. of our gods. They changed the image of what our God looked like. So everything we see and do is white. Until you understand who you are and who child you belong to, then you don't understand the game. You don't need a gun. A gun is only going to do two things in our community. The enemy seeks to devour and destroy. Look at all our leaders. Look at the people that are dying now. As they say, it's never died before. Look at the celebrities that are dying, passing away. Maybe they didn't reach their journey. Maybe they fulfilled their obligations here on the earth. And God said, now it's time for you to come home. You have a home. This is not your home. You're only passing through. But you can't pass through it without the body. You are spiritual creatures. We are spiritual. That's why when you die, you're not dead. You are a spirit. That's why when people die, that's why people say, don't put me in a coffin. I don't want to be buried. Because in their mind, they feel like they're going to wake up in the coffin. That's why I want me cremated. I want to be cremated. Because they don't want to wake up in a coffin. But you can't bury a spirit. All you got to do is ask your undertaker. There's a lot of things that you don't know. They can't put a body in the ground with the spirit in it. It has to come out before you can bury it. It's all in the book. But people only want to tell you what you need to know. And why, if they know so much, how come there's gun violence going on and they ain't out there in the street talking? You have new organizations like the Black Panthers, the new Black Panthers marching. I've seen other organizations because I went out to film them and I supported them. Even they got tired. The weight of trying to change our youth is very heavy and long. It's not an overnight process. Because you have to combat that TV, that radio. There's so many weapons that used against our kids. And when you send them to school and they want to listen and play their phones, they're there to learn. They learn education from their teacher. The teacher took a responsibility to say, hey, I want to be a teacher. I want to teach the youth so they can grow up to be intelligent and smart. And they hardly want to pay the teachers for all the work they do, the labor that they put out. The teachers do it for one reason: love. The paycheck ain't that much when they got to take their paycheck and buy materials for their classroom. What kind of foolishness is that? Our teachers have to spend that money to buy supplies for your kids. We shouldn't be doing that. Our teachers should get all the help they can. That's why I created what I do with my comic books and the things that I create, so that no teacher should have to take money out of her pocket and buy supplies. I'm a DJ, professional DJ, over 50 years in the game. I'm coming back to raise money to help supply the teachers, but I can't do it by myself. I ask people all the time, and people are now writing me, emailing me from other cities and states. They say, when you going to do this reunion party? When you going to do that reunion party? I done played in so many clubs that were successful that I have to figure out a way to pay homage to all those clubs, either by combining a couple and salute in one night or combining them on different nights in the same week. So that one night will be for this club, the next night will be for that club. But those are older people. All the people I play for are older now. The young people when I used to work with the Soul Ranger. I wasn't a DJ for young people. My organization was the organization that rented the buildings for Soul Ranger because he couldn't get the building because he wasn't a nonprofit organization. You don't know what I've been through. You know what they want you to know, what they put me through. But I keep telling people, the Bible said, touch not my anointings and do my prophets no harm. I don't worry about what you do to me, but I can guarantee you this, you'll wish that you hadn't. I can guarantee you that because my God don't make no mistakes. He sits high and looks low. And when God give you a mission, when he give you something to do, the enemy is going to come against you because that's why he's the enemy. Don't get mad because he comes against you. Get mad because you're not trying to stop him. Get mad with yourself. Our teachers are under attack. Our schools are under attack. Our community is under attack. So go back to the words of Martin Luther King. Why do you use young people? Because you can tell them to do something and to stop doing something, and they're going to do it anyway. So they use the philosophy of our ancestors, our leaders, against us. But it's up to you. When Jesse Jackson came along, what did he do? No balance, just march. See the crowd. All these leaders out there, and you don't see the strategy that they use. Silence is power. When you come together in silence, they don't know what you're thinking. They just see you standing there. What's up? Why they ain't saying nothing? You don't even know how silence, how powerful it is. We out here brandishing guns. Pick up that book, see what happens. Get your kids to start reading and see what happens. Get them to start staying in the house by 9 o'clock. They ain't got no job. What they doing out on the street? The streaks. It's going to take you away from here. Somebody got to tell the truth. Somebody got to tell the truth. Because if you don't, our future is going to perish. Our generation is losing loved ones. Again, The Real Adventures of Captain85 comic book is already printed. And I'll be doing a talk show to let you know if you like to purchase, if you're a business or organizations, if you want to purchase some, I'll give you the price of them. And we can work from there. But it's not for me. It's for every generation of young people in our community. You can raise entrepreneurs. You can raise millionaires. You can't raise a millionaire because he did a book. You can't raise a person because he's selling cookies. You can't raise a millionaire because he did t-shirts. You can only make them rich or a millionaire if you got 1 million people buying the product. We got all these, we got what, about 30 to 40 million black people in the United States. And you can't get 20 or 30 of them at any given time to spend money with you. But you go down to the other businesses. That's not ours, but in our neighborhood, oh, it's a line out the door. It's a line out the door. Teach one. You teach one, you teach 10 people. If you got 10 people that buy a product from you, you time it by 10. You got 10 friends. If they buy from you, they got 10 friends. That's 100 people. That 100 people got 10 friends. That's 1,000. Do your math. How the numbers game is played. If everybody come together, why do you think they shut my club down, Picasso's? Why do you think they shut the clubs down that I was in? Because we came together and helped the community. And you know what they said? Because I got the footage. I got the news meter footage. They said the only reason you in the community because you bribing them. Let me see. I'm bribing the black community. Well, how come what you doing ain't helping the community? I'm not bribing the community because I help you. You black. I'm supposed to spend money with you. You make $1 out of every dollar in the black community. Only about, maybe today, 27 cents out of $1 stay in our community or less. 27 cents stay in our community or less. The other rest of it go to all the other businesses. And I'm not hating on Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Filipinos, Asians. There's so many nationalities. We spend our money with them. But when we start spending money with us, everybody get an uproar. Why you think they don't like me? I'm trying to show your young people that all you got to do is work together. I can show you how to do it. Because everything that's in power, in play today, everything from banking to everything the grocery stores, I had already thought of that way back in the 90s. Way back in the 90s. Everything that you use today, I knew in the 90s. But you'll say, well, if you use it, why ain't you rich? Because I'm one man. It's hard to work with people that you can't trust. I've trusted people and helped them to get where they are. But you know what? They just like the man. Just like your counterparts. They don't want you to see to get on top. That's what you see in all these movies, gangster movies. Everybody's working. Only maybe 2 or 3 people gonna get to the top. You are slaves, regardless of who is in charge. They don't want to bring you up to their level. Because if they bring you up to their level, they ain't got no soldiers. Everybody can't be a chief. And everybody don't want to be a soldier. But if you're taking care of the soldier the right way, if you take care of the community the right way, everybody wins. But it's just me. But the clock on the wall said that's my time. Hope you enjoyed the conversation and thank those that made comments and thank you for sharing this on your Facebook, Instagram links. I'm just trying to tell you to wake up the young people because as long as the young people are asleep, we in trouble. Until the next time we meet, to the next time we greet. You've been watching the Best of the 757 Community Talk Show with Captain 85. Bye-bye.